From JBS Studios in Greater New York, this is the JBS News Update with Teisha Bader.
I'm Teisha Bader with the JBS News Update for Monday, April the 3rd, 2023. 3 IDF soldiers were hurt in a car ramming attack Saturday night in the West Bank. The incident, the IDF said, took place near the village of Beit Umar in Gush Etzion. 1 soldier was seriously injured, another moderately, and a third lightly wounded. Other soldiers in the area opened fire toward the assailant, who was neutralized. The 3 injured were taken to the hospital for treatment. On Friday night, an Arab Israeli man grabbed the weapon of an Israeli police officer in Jerusalem's Old City. Israel police said a suspect arrived to the chain gate on the Temple Mount after closing hours and after Friday Ramadan prayers, took a gun from a police officer who was at the gate and managed to fire at the police forces. No one was hurt. The officers managed to neutralize the suspect. The incident was not captured on security cameras, and the family of the suspect denied that this is what happened, claiming the man never grabbed the gun. Israel police released video of the terrorist movement in the Temple Mount area before the attack was carried out, noting that it took place in area not covered by cameras. Later, police said testing found the DNA of the terrorist on the weapon. He was identified as a 26-year-old resident of the Bedouin town of Hura in southern Israel. Police condemned false information they said was circulating on social media. An investigation into the incident is being conducted. Israel police saying this unusual event must not overshadow the continuation of Ramadan and the hundreds of thousands who come to celebrate in Jerusalem. We must maintain operational readiness, they said, and operational efforts, and continue to enable freedom of religious worship. Israel's President Isaac Herzog resumed talks with members of the coalition and opposition today at the president's residence, aimed at reaching a compromise in the judicial reforms crisis. As we reported to you on Friday, Herzog acknowledged that there was still great mistrust among some, but urged all to give the negotiations a chance. Israel's cabinet approved the establishment of the Israel National Guard yesterday to deal with, the Prime Minister's office said, national emergency situations such as the disturbances that occurred during Operation Guardians of the Walls, and saying that a committee will propose whether the National Guard will be subordinate to the Israel Police Inspector General or to another body, and will receive input from the Inspector General and all professional elements. There is concern that the new unit could be under the command of controversial figure Itamar Ben-Gvir, who holds the title of National Security Minister and who had urged the formation of the National Guard. Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu addressed the cabinet yesterday, where he noted the ongoing fight against terrorism, thanking Israel police for thwarting the terrorist on the Temple Mount over the weekend, and said, "We are all praying for the well-being of the soldier who was seriously wounded in the ramming attack in Gush Etzion." Netanyahu said that Israel's internal debate referring to the judicial reforms crisis will not detract one iota from our determination, strength, and ability to act against our enemies on all fronts, wherever and whenever necessary. He also noted the upcoming Passover holiday, which begins Wednesday evening, saying, "I would like to remind you all that for centuries on Passover, we always remembered that we have a common past of thousands of years, as well as a common future expressed in the prayer for next year in a rebuilt Jerusalem." He said, "We will still remember that we have a glorious past and a bright future together. I wish the entire people of Israel a happy, kosher, and quiet Passover." Taking a look now at our programming for tonight on JBS, including special programming for the upcoming Passover holiday. Tonight, Monday, April the 3rd, at 7, it's episode 8 of the Israeli hit TV series Srugim. At 7:40, Abigail Pogrebin speaks to Amanda Berman about the ongoing judicial reforms crisis in Israel and this inflection point for American Jews. At 8, Abigail sits down with leading authority of Kabbalah Daniel Matt to discuss his book, Becoming Elijah, the story of a beloved Jewish figure and Passover hero. At 8:30, Rabbi and musician Zach Fredman plays his original melody to the Song of Moses and Miriam and describes how a literal reading of the Torah portion in the book of Exodus influenced his composition. At 9, it's an introduction to the meaning of the Passover holiday and the symbols of the Seder service, with the late JBS president, Rabbi Mark S. Golub, may his memory be for a blessing. And then Rabbi Irving Yitz Greenberg talks about the meaning of Passover on L'chaim. At 10, Benjamin Anthony speaks with former Israeli ambassador to the U.S., Michael Oren, to discuss the judicial reforms in Israel, including the security and diplomatic implications of the crisis. And coming up next, I speak with former Israeli ambassador to the US, Danny Ayalon, on the reforms crisis, including the impact on US-Israel relations, why he says some reforms are needed, but why unity is the most important issue of all. And that's the JBS News Update for Monday, April the 3rd, 2023. I'm Teisha Bader. Stay healthy, stay well.